Sleep Neurobiology, Medicine and Society. This is at Coursera.org information. Definition. The objective of this course of Coursera is to give students the most up-to-date information on the bio, bio, definition. The objective of this course is to give students the most up-to-date information on the biological, personal, and societal relevance to sleep. Personal relevance is emphasized by the fact that the single best predictor of daytime performance is the quality of the previous night's sleep. The brain actively generates sleep, and the first third of the course will overview the neurobiological basis of sleep cycle control. The course provides a cellular level understanding of how sleep deprivation, jet lag, and substances such as alcohol, caffeine, and nicotine alter sleep and wakefulness. Application on medicine. By its condition is an active process is closely related to give vigil being necessary to the overall health of the body and can cause alteration of both physical and mental disorders. The dream has its own neurological regulation, consolidation of memory and function of some neurotransmitters, endocrine metabolic, regulation of body temperature and hormone production, and immune and cardio. Sleep is usually a spontaneous behavioral state that requires a suitable environment and generates posture and electroencephalographic changes that distinguish it from waking. In the dream, you can distinguish different degrees of deep based on different psychological variables that change at different stages. So-called indicators of sleep are the electroencephalogram, eye movements, and muscle tone. By polysomnographic studies, these indicators are studied and the different stages of sleep differ. A video about wake up and speaking the neuroscience of sleep and dreaming.
Good evening, everybody. Let's get started. My name is Mark Frankel, and I am director of the AAAS Scientific Responsibility, Human Rights, and Law program that we have. And one of the more pleasant tasks that I have in that role is to be the lead coordinator at AAAS for our series, Neuroscience and Society. So I want to, on behalf of AAAS, you'll hear
longer life, prevent inflammatory processes, encourage creativity, help win, improves grade in school, improves concentration in children, maintain a healthy body weight, reduce stress, and calm depression. A video about normal sleep and sleep disorders.
Normal sleep consists of non-REM sleep and REM sleep. There are 4 stages of non-REM sleep. There are stage 1, stage 2,
The cons. Chronic sleep
are very
deprivation
short
impairs immune function
little
and may
waves
promote
such
obesity. Death due to all causes are most frequently between 4 and 6 a.m., and the second portion of the class will highlight the relevance of sleep for preventive medicine. The societal relevance of sleep will be considered in the final portion of the class. In an increasingly complex and technologically oriented society, operator error by the one individual can have a disastrous negative impact on the public health and safety. Fatigue-related performance decrements are known to have contributed as causal factors to nuclear power plant failures, transportation disaster, and medical errors. There is a video about pros and cons of sleeping pills, sleep problems.
a licensed clinical psychologist and sleep specialist in New York City. You can find out more about me and my work on my website, nycsleepdoctor.com. If you're having trouble sleeping, you might be interested in taking medication to treat the problem. Here are some things to consider. First of all, taking medication is a quick fix, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you're really struggling and you've had several nights of bad sleep, if you're becoming very anxious about that, sometimes taking medication can help you get back on track. And if you're in a particularly stressful period in your life and you know that it's going to be temporary, medication can really be helpful in getting you through. You might want to consider whether the medication you need would be to treat insomnia or to treat anxiety that you're struggling with. The problem is that medication can become very psychologically addictive, and that even if your body doesn't need it, you might believe that you're not able to sleep without it. That makes it harder to sleep without medication than it is if you've never taken it. Medications also have side effects, and some of the medications on the market today have pretty serious ones. So that's another consideration if you think you might need to take medication for the long term. Medications also take
Alpha waves in the EEG correspond to wakefulness and are replaced by slower waves, sleep-awake NREM. A slowing of the heartbeat also appears. During this phase, the dream is easily interruptible. This stage lasts at 3 minutes. Step 2, below the 1 and represent more than 50% of sleep time. Stage 3 and 4 correspond to the deepest sleep because for them the delta waves, which are very slow, appear. Isuet applet in Ecuador. The psychological function that has attracted more consequence was the REM sleep strengthens our memory, and the recovery of our memories is more effective after a good sleep. However, even this function is accepted universally. The primary function of REM sleep is purely psychological and is to provide the brain stimulation it needs to recover from sleep. To summarize our position, we can say that sleep acts on our emotional memory, activating brain circuits associated with emotion, as the amygdala and the limbic system, and desactivation the conscious control of the frontal cortex, and the entry and exit of stimuli, turning off part of the brainstem. A video about lack of sleep by logic biological rates.
First lecture, we're going to talk about sleep, which is kind of fitting this early in the day. I think in many ways sleep is fascinating, mainly because we don't really know why we sleep and what good it does. The fact is that it seems as if basically all animals, including insects, actually sleep. So it seems to be a property which is closely related to being an animal. For quite a long time, going to sleep. So each hemisphere of the brain can sleep. That's the way that the dolphin manages.
Each person has his liturgy, their sleep habits, and need to read a bit before sleep. Others have to take a glass of water, others require total darkness, others a degree of brightness, etc.